23 News, update at 10. I'm Mike Garrigan.
And I'm Whitney Martin. Thanks for joining us tonight. A landlord's home is destroyed from the basement up, and he believes it was done on purpose. It's a situation that does not appear to be unique to the area. Now our state's attorney is getting involved and cracking down. In a story you'll see only on 23 News, Eric O'Brien explains what's being done to stop this from happening in Rockford.
This is exactly how we found it.
Brad Hauser says he came home to his property to post these no trespassing signs until his daughter and her boyfriend move in.
This is going to take us probably a minimum of a week to 2 weeks to clean up.
Instead, the landlord walked into this. Broken glass and shattered mirrors everywhere. A flooded basement, cabinets and doors ripped from the hinges. No part of his rental property was spared.
They even went upstairs into the and took paint and just slung it.
Why would they do that?
You tell me why they would do that. It doesn't make sense. Because they don't want to work for what they have and they think everybody owes them something. Well, I got news for you. Nobody owes you anything.
Hauser tells me this is retaliation for having the house condemned because the tenants would not take over basic utilities and were repeatedly coming up short on rent. However, friends like Trevor King tell a different story.
Smart mouth, slumlord. He won't fix anything. The living conditions in this property is unfeasible for that of even an animal. In fact, in late July, early June, I fell down the stairs and fractured my ankle.
King tells me this is how the home has looked for the better part of 2 years.
I mean, she gave him everything that she has, so she has no money to look for a new place or security deposit or hotel fare or any of that.
Documentation is critical, so you should always have a lease. Everything should be in writing.
Rockford Apartments Association CEO Paul Arena says this type of scenario is not a rare occurrence.
You're subject to fine for the problem that the tenant caused. When I called the health department, they laughed and said, "You realize you're turning yourself in." But I was looking for documentation because I needed to evict those people.
According to State's Attorney Joe Bruscato, change is on its way.
As a tenant, if you're going to seek to get revenge on a landlord for being asked to leave or being evicted, that if you do that through damaging property and creating and engaging in criminal conduct, you will be held accountable. It won't be excused.
Now, it's important to note that neither side of this situation has been charged with anything. I spoke with the renter. She tells me it was a verbal agreement that she had. Hauser claims the tenant signed a lease.
Oh, this is a situation that a lot of people find themselves in, a lot of he said, she said when it comes to this. Yeah. What can we do to maybe help us? I know we were talking about documentation.
And the only way to avoid it is by documentation. This right here, it's as simple as just writing it down and having 2 signatures. And it doesn't matter who. If you, Mike, would you rent out a property to your son?
Yes. Let me sign in.
Yeah. But if you do it, I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. You have to take pictures.
Oh, sure.
It needs to be a move-in and move-out condition. So each section, a checklist. What condition was every part of the apartment in? And both need to check off from move-in to move-out.
Kind of like what they do with rental cars. When you rent a car from anywhere, you have to say what before and after.
And Bruscato is pursuing this, but the Rockford Apartment Association wants there to be a tenant responsibility accountability program. They have them in some other counties. They've asked the city to install it. The city is not on board just yet, so we'll see how that plays out.
Just one case that we're talking about.
Okay. Good work, Eric.